Okay, hello everyone. Clark Towson here. I'm the CEO of INTJ Billing. Today's video, got a diagram to show you on screen now. This diagram I thought was very interesting. I found it on Twitter, and I thought that I'd go through this diagram because it's a very good illustration of what I'm engaged in over here in Pattaya, Thailand. So I've created a similar diagram. I'm going to talk through that after I talk through the original here. So you can see here with the traditional banking system, there's you as a person, then there's the bank where you keep your money. Then you've got third parties, right? Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, American Express. And then there's the other person. Of course, they've got their bank. And that's how money changes hands in the traditional banking system, right? And I guess we don't really think too much about that unless something goes wrong. Like, we live in a world of intermediaries. And then when you look with using Bitcoin, you've got you, and you've got the Bitcoin transaction, secure, fast, and cheap, and you've got the other person, peer to peer, all right? Person to person, peer to peer, not peer to intermediary to intermediary to intermediary to peer, right? So the Bitcoin transaction really can be peer to peer, secure, fast, and cheap, and it looks really great, doesn't it? Right? You think, wow, wouldn't it be great if we had a world where all the transactions were peer to peer like this? We could cut out these third parties, right? Cut out banks, cut out payment companies, get rid of a lot of them. It'd be so easy, right? Well, unfortunately, that's not the world that we live in, and it's going to take a long time before that situation occurs, if ever, right? Simply sending Bitcoin from yourself to the other person, to be able to bypass the traditional banks and payment companies, you bypass a whole lot of headaches and problems. But the reality, of course, is it's just not so simple. Okay. So if you think about the Bitcoin transaction, Bitcoin transactions do a peer-to-peer transfer. You look at it and you think, well, it should be simple, shouldn't it? Well, if you think about it, it's not simple. For a person to acquire Bitcoin, they've got to go through an exchange. Whether they use a centralized exchange or a decentralized exchange, they've still got to be able to buy that Bitcoin. Most people will use a centralized exchange. In Australia, CoinSpot is a big exchange. That's where I purchase all of my Bitcoin. Of course, they've got a KYC process, know your customer. So you've got to give over your personal details in order to sign up to get a CoinSpot account before you can buy Bitcoin. So you've got to buy the Bitcoin from the exchange. Then you've got to transfer that Bitcoin to your mobile phone, right? And of course, the other person has to go through the same process or a similar process, whatever country they're in, they're going to have to do the same thing, right? Before you can do that peer-to-peer transaction. Okay, so you've got to go through a third-party custodian to get your Bitcoin before anything else happens. And of course, you've got to transfer money to that third-party custodian from your bank in order to get your Bitcoin, in order to do this transfer, right? And of course, the other thing is each of the people in the diagram, if they've installed a non-custodial Bitcoin wallet, i.e., a wallet that's not on the exchange, so they've got a mobile phone and then they've installed, say, the BitPay wallet, and both of them have done that, right? Then they need to securely store their Bitcoin seed phrase, and many people lose their Bitcoin seed phrases. So then they'd be looking at using a custodianship service. And of course, where do they go to find a custodianship service that's going to look after their seed phrases? Mostly they just look after them themselves. As I said, a lot of people would lose them. Others might store it in a safety deposit box or at a place like Fortis Vaults in Melbourne, Australia. But it takes responsibility and it takes accountability in order to do this, right? It also takes knowledge and skill, of course. And it takes the time and the effort to go and buy the Bitcoin first. Yeah. And it's really a lot of messing around if you think about it. It really is. So the next diagram, on the next graphic on screen now, here's INTJ Billing's process when dealing with the Thai bar girl. So you've got you, and of course, there's two different methods here. So the first method is the peer-to-peer transaction, the secure, fast, and cheap transaction, sending from the Western man to the Thai bar girl. Okay, so you can see the Western man has got a BitPay wallet, so it's a non-custodial wallet that is installed on his phone. The Thai bar girl has got the same BitPay wallet installed on her phone. Both of them, of course, then need to look after their Bitcoin seed phrases. I think we know which party is more likely to lose their seed phrase in this process. Okay, but that's how it's done in a non-custodial manner, i.e., that INTJ Billing doesn't have to be directly involved in order to do that. The second transaction is where my company, INTJ Billing, is in the middle. And of course, I've got a BTC Pay server, which I've got set up. There's you as the Western man. You've got your mobile phone, you've got a laptop computer. On the other side, we have the Thai bar girl. She's got her mobile phone, and she's got a website. And the website, of course, has been created by me, which links in to that Thai bar girl's Bitcoin hot wallet on INTJ Billing's BTC Pay server, right? So INTJ Billing is the boutique third party, okay? Boutique. Another word for boutique is speciality. And if you think about it, INTJ Billing, I myself as a computer scientist, high skill, high care factor, market specific services, okay, that I'm looking to provide. So both of these transactions, okay, at the moment are very unlikely to occur, okay? Very unlikely to occur at the moment. The Thai bar girls, okay, very few of them have got Bitcoin wallets set up. So you've got hundreds of them in Soi 6 Pattaya that will need Bitcoin hot wallets set up for them in order for the first non-custodial transactions to occur. Right? So they'll have to go through that process, and somebody needs to guide them through that process. And I think the person for that job is me. Okay. If I get to the stage where I've got them all set up with Bitcoin hot wallets, BitPay hot wallets on their phone, then any Western man would be able to go through that process and send the bar girl Bitcoin. But then, of course, the bar girl wants Thai baht. She doesn't want Bitcoin, she wants Thai baht. So my company comes in, again, to be able to convert that Bitcoin into Thai baht for payment to her. Okay. Now, the second part here as well, it's the same thing, right? In that, a third party, INTJ Billing, really needs to be here on the ground to achieve this. Okay, so the second part of this is much easier for the bar girl and for the Western man, because it removes a whole lot of complexity. All the Western guy has to do is have his mobile phone and laptop computer, bring up the bar girl's payments page, okay, and literally use the hot wallet on his phone, scan the QR code, and click pay with BTC Pay. Up pops the BTC Pay invoice for the bar girl, and the guy scans it and swipes to send Bitcoin to her. Right, very simple and easy. Then, of course, once she receives that, she'll need to come to INTJ Billing. Well, I get the notification first. I can contact her and say, hey, this Western gentleman has sent you some Bitcoin. Please come and pick the money up as cash, or here's the INTJ Billing Western Union payment notification. Go after Western Union, quote this MTCN number, and pick up your money, right? So you can see, though, that INTJ Billing, my company, you can see that there's a role here and to build a business. I want to be able to set up both non-custodial and custodial Bitcoin hot wallets for the bar girls, okay? So that regardless of what happens to me, regardless of what happens to my company, once all the bar girls have been set up, with this process, all right, they'll have all the hot wallets installed for them, and they'll be able to receive Bitcoin. So now it's my company, and they can't receive it via the non-custodial method, i.e. via their web page on my infrastructure, via their hot wallet on my infrastructure. They can still receive Bitcoin to their mobile phone. They'll still be able to do that. So yeah, it's that's the process, right? Or that's the two different processes. You can see that there's no bank in the picture there, right? There's no bank and there's no other third-party payment provider. INTJ Billing is the third party, or the boutique third party. And some of you might say something like, well, why do you need to do this? Why is this needed? Okay, I can use TransferWise, I can use Western Union, I can use all these other payment companies without having to go through this process. Well, yes, that's true. Look what happened though with the Canadian truckers. Look what happens when governments and payment companies clamp down on an industry or cut off payments, all that sort of stuff. So you really want to have a service like this operating, right? Even just as an insurance policy, that you know the payments will be able to get through. And of course, the other thing is that Western men in the Western world, all those young up and coming, soon to be Thailand traveling guys, they're accumulating Bitcoin and they want to be able to spend some Bitcoin. And this service is a way that they can do this and directly help out their bar girl friends. You can see my ad here on screen now. Mr. Bitcoin's got my phone number. I'm the first Bitcoin Lightning Network exchange in Soi 6, Pattaya, Thailand. Censorship-free Bitcoin remittance payments. And then, of course, my listed services, which I'll have on the door to my room, to my office, my pop-up office at the Queen Vic Inn in Soi 6. So you can see, after going through this video, that there is a role here for INTJ Billing. There's a role here for me to do all this. It's important, I think, that a service like this be operating. Boutique third party, right? Boutique, somebody who cares. I'm not some big payment company, okay, located in another country who doesn't care about the users. I care about the users. I care about this marketplace. I care about the bar girls that I'll be working with. I care about the Western men that are sending the bar girls money. This isn't like like a Western Union or any of these big payment companies who really don't care about their customers, right? I'm here on the ground within this marketplace. I'm living here, all right? And I'm going to be living here 6 months on, 6 months off, 6 months here, 6 months in Australia, all right? But I'll maintain a presence here as best I can, and which will be an increasing presence as the years go on, as I build out this service, right? But it's that high care factor that's really important. And that's where the initial customers will come from for this service. They've said, okay, Towson's gone out, he's done this, he's worked with industry players, he's got all the Bitcoin wallet set up. This is now possible, right? Yeah, so that's all I really wanted to go through in this video. All the best, everyone. I'm Clark Towson, CEO of INTJ Billing.